Hello, hello. Blessings to you all on this day. I want to share a quick reflection with you guys out of Job 42, verse 12 and on. It reads like this: "And the Lord blessed the latter days of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 female donkeys. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters." Now, if you guys remember, Job, before the calamity came on his life, he had 7 sons and 3 daughters already. And they were all killed in a big, horrific storm that caused the house to topple on top of them. They were all in the eldest brother's home together, and everybody that was in that house died but one person that lived to come and tell the story. So here we see that Job was blessed with more than the beginning, meaning what he received after all the distressing time and the adversity that the Lord had brought on him. We see that the Lord provided for him way more than what he had initially. The only thing is that his sons and daughters were not doubled. They were just, in a sense, replaced. And as I was reading this and thinking about it, in a commentary that I was reading as well, or listening to rather, the thought that I want to share with you today is, we know that sons and daughters are probably more important to anyone than sheep and oxen and camels and female donkeys, right? So why didn't God give him more sons and more daughters? In other words, why didn't he give him 14 sons and 6 daughters? And the thought here is when God allows calamity into our lives, he promises to restore what was lost. And I believe that because of Job's faithfulness to pray for his sons and daughters, initially the first set of sons and daughters, and his devotion to God and faithfulness to God to search him and to sacrifice unto the Lord for or on behalf of his children, because of that faithfulness, God is like saying to Job, I didn't have to give you more sons and daughters than you had before, because your sons and daughters are with me. They're not lost. They weren't lost. So God restores what's lost. God restores what's been stolen from you, what's been taken from you. But I believe that what has happened here is that the sons and daughters that Job was praying for religiously, like every day he made sacrifice for them, God took care of them. And he didn't need to restore them to him. He simply replaced or he gave him more sons and daughters. So altogether, he does have 14 sons and 6 daughters. I hope I'm making myself clear. I think that's encouraging, because we can know that God restores those things that were lost, and the things that sometimes don't seem to be restored is because God is giving you an opportunity to do something else with this new set. So, for example, if you lose a 4-bedroom house in a fire, God forbid, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a 3-bedroom house with, all the bells and whistles of a newer house. But your 4-bedroom house was older, right? An older model. You would say it was probably a fair replacement. You may have lost some space, but your home was restored to you. And in a probably, you would even consider it to be a blessing, because maybe even your mortgage would be paid off because you have a new house, right? Versus the other house that you were paying on a mortgage and things like that. So just a thought like that. Like, sometimes when God restores things to us, it doesn't look like it used to, or it may be, it may even look like it's not fair, right? Like, or some people may look at this story of Job and say, well, God restored so much abundance back to him, but he only gave him another set of 7 sons and 3 daughters. Why wouldn't he give him 14? Well, the story goes on to say, the account of this life goes on to say, and I'll read it to you in verse 14. And he called the name of the first daughter Jemimah, and the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Karen Hapuk. In all the land there were found no women so fair as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them an inheritance among their brothers. So there was something different that happened here than what he had done before. The women in his family were the fairest in the land, and he gave them an inheritance as well, which was not typical in those days. The men were the ones who got an inheritance, the brothers. So they also got an inheritance. And then it says in verse 16, after this, Job lived 140 years and saw his sons and his grandsons 4 generations. So Job died an old man and full of days. So God not only restored to him sons and daughters, a new set, the other set that died in that calamity, they are still his sons and his daughters. And by the grace of God, God was showing him, look, I've taken care of them. They're okay. And this other new set after the calamity, and when he is now in his full-blown time of restoration and redemption, we see that he's done some things differently with his new set of sons and daughters. And we see that he goes on to see 4 generations of his own family. And that's beautiful. So he did get more than what he probably would have gotten with this other set of family. Who knows? We can't say for sure, but there's purpose in everything. And I think the reflection that we should have today, and just to think about the beauty of the Lord, is that he is a God of restoration. He does restore. He does redeem. And so if you've lost anything, know that the Lord is faithful, and that he will restore back to you what you've lost. And if it doesn't look like it used to, don't worry about it, because that one thing in this new time could produce much more fruit than what the other thing that you've lost may have produced. So yeah, think about that today. God bless you, and